Dawn had just settled over the dry riverbed in the African savannah. The sand was still cold after a long night. A light wind slipped through the low thorn bushes, carrying the smell of dry earth. This place seemed peaceful. But in the wild, silence is sometimes only a thin layer, hiding a hunt waiting to begin. From a low burrow beneath an old acacia tree, the mother honey badger slowly poked her head out. Behind her, a young honey badger poked its head out from the darkness. It had been weaned. It was old enough to walk on its own feet, but still too young to understand the full cost of life on the savannah. It had to learn how to smell the ground, how to dig, how to tell the difference between an easy meal and a deadly trap. The mother and her young left the shelter. The dry riverbed opened in front of them. On both sides were rough earthen banks and natural burrows in the ground. There was food here. But in the wild, the smell of food does not only call to the one who digs it up. At the far end of the dry riverbed, a young, spotted hyena was passing by when it suddenly stopped. It raised its head, its nose pulled in the air sharply. The scent of a young honey badger. Then, from behind the thorn bushes, a second hyena appeared. After that, a third. The group was still young, not bold enough to attack right away. But they were curious enough, hungry enough, and patient enough to begin closing in. One hyena stepped forward. At once, the mother honey badger took one step forward, opened her mouth wide, and let out a low warning growl. The hyena froze, but the other two began spreading outside, to both sides, forming a tightening circle around the mother and her young. The mother honey badger kept turning, always keeping her cub behind her back. One hyena moved in, close from the right. The mother instantly lunged forward, snapping hard at the air in front of its muzzle. The hyena jerked backward, sending sand flying, but it did not run away. The three hyenas continued to advance, one from the front, the other two pressing in from both sides. The mother honey badger growled and charged out once more. She was smaller, but she did not retreat. She was not fighting to defeat the whole group. She was fighting to keep her cub alive. Then the wind shifted. The scent of a big cat swept through the dry riverbed. The mother honey badger froze. She recognized the danger just in time, but the leopard had already burst from the bushes. It charged straight toward the root hollow and seized the cub. In a flash, the young honey badger was yanked out of the sand. Immediately, the mother honey badger let out a furious growl. She abandoned the hyenas in front of her and charged straight at the leopard. The prey in front of them was no longer just a worn-down mother drained of strength. She had just proven that, when pushed to her limit, she could redirect her attack in an instant. The mother honey badger turned back toward the root hollow, gently nudging her cub's shoulder with her snout. The cub stood up on its own. Its legs trembled slightly. But it was still alive. And in the wild, sometimes simply being able to stand again is already a great victory. The honey badger is not the largest predator in the wild, but it is one of the hardest animals to break. Most of the time, it lives alone, moving quietly through bushes, dry riverbeds, and harsh open ground in search of food. It is an excellent digger, has a strong sense of smell, and will eat almost anything it can overpower. Insects, snakes, lizards, bird eggs, small animals, carrion, and even beehives. When it hunts, the honey badger does not rely on speed like a cheetah, nor on overwhelming strength like a lion. It relies on stubbornness, sharp teeth, powerful claws, thick skin, and a spirit that does not easily understand fear. During the breeding season, a female honey badger usually gives birth to very few young, and that makes each cub extremely valuable. The cub is weak, dependent on its mother, and must learn step by step how to smell danger, dig for food, search for prey, and recognize threats. A honey badger mother does not simply raise her cub. She trains it to survive. And if that cub is threatened, her instincts can become terrifyingly fierce. A mother honey badger is willing to charge at an enemy many times larger than herself, biting, snarling, twisting her body, and holding her ground until she can pull her young away from danger. She does not fight for victory. She fights because there is no other choice. The nature of the honey badger is a mixture of boldness, stubbornness, and recklessness. It may walk away when a fight is not worth the cost. But when cornered, it becomes such a difficult opponent that many predators are forced to think twice. In the wild, size does not always decide who survives. Sometimes, what keeps a life standing is instinct, endurance, and the will to never back down. Because in nature, the strongest is not always the one with the larger fangs and claws, but the one that knows when to fight, when to retreat, and how to protect its life until the very last breath.